At first blush, the stats seem shocking. A recent report reveals that 960 Canadian Forces personnel said they were victims of sexual assault in the workplace last year. The study was conducted by Statistics Canada, and 43,000 members of the regular and reserve forces responded. Now, granted, it's indeed disturbing to think there were almost 1,000 victims of sexual assault in the military last year alone, but the devil, as always, is in the details. That's because when one analyzes the data, a somewhat different picture emerges. For example, unwanted sexual touching was the most common form of sexual assault reported by 1.5% of the 960 members. Now, unwanted sexual touching is wrong and illegal, of course, and offenders must be punished, but sexual touching is never really defined. Is this, say, an unwanted grope or all-out rape? There is, of course, a profound difference, even if radical feminists state otherwise, but the study doesn't define the severity of the sexual touching. Yet, what made me really raise a Spockian eyebrow is this nugget of info. It turns out that the most common type of sexualized behavior in the military was, wait for it, sexual jokes. Yes, risque jokes were witnessed by 76% of regular force members. Wow, who knew that overhearing someone tell a dirty joke is akin to sexual harassment? And these are military personnel, you know, rough and tough guys and gals shooting guns and blowing up things real good.
We are proud to go where many will not. To defend our values and freedom. To help others at home and abroad. We are trained to protect our country and make the world a safer place. We are the Canadian Armed Forces. That's our job.
Gee, did you catch that part about defending our values? How did that slip by? Golly, I hope Justin Trudeau hasn't seen this recruitment ad yet, but I digress. The thing is, I've never been a soldier, but I'm betting that being a soldier can be one of the most stressful jobs on the planet. And one of the ways of coping with stress might involve soldiers using some salty language or even, God forbid, telling a dirty joke or three. But apparently there are some sensitive snowflake soldiers out there who would consider sexual jokes as a form of sexual assault. Really? Who makes up the rank and file of the Canadian Armed Forces these days? Warriors or social justice warriors? And because some soldiers find lewd jokes offensive, we somehow have an epidemic of sexual assault occurring in the forces? Well, give me a break. I mean, come on, if the Menzoid was a man in uniform, you're telling me I couldn't say something like, hey, did you hear that scientists have discovered a substance that makes women allergic to sex? Yeah, it's called wedding cake. Or did you hear about the gay midget? Yeah, he came out of the cupboard. Or what is the biggest crime committed by transvestites? Mail fraud. Whoa, tough crowd, Johnny, tough crowd. Anyway, as a comic in all seriousness, I think I speak for the majority when I say that I want a tough army, I want a competent army, and I want an army with its collective finger on the trigger, not an army that is triggered by sexual jokes. And if a bunch of Stats Canada eggheads now look upon sexual jokes as being akin to sexual harassment, then sorry guys, it's back to the old drawing board because your study is garbage. And that's no joke. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Like what you just saw? Then help build the Rebel by visiting thebigplan.ca.